Name is Gary Baker. I served in the U.S. Navy from September of 1961 to about January 1966. Well, I grew up in Lewistown, Montana. I was born on a ranch outside of Montana. I moved into town when I was about 8 or 9 years old. And I always looked at sailors in kind of awe. I liked their uniforms, and I just had an interest in the Navy. I enlisted in 1961. I was in California looking for work, and work wasn't available. I was running out of money, so I went to the recruiter, and my dream came true. I became a sailor. Basic training was in San Diego. I was there from September till about December of 1961. Well, for a pick from Montana, it was a whole new experience, but you learn discipline, that's for dang sure, and they got you in shape. They break you down, build you back up again. Oh Lord, we have people from all over the U.S. We had Caucasians, Hispanics, blacks, everybody. Well, it was a lot of marching to start with to make you look military. We marched everywhere in formation. We had very little free time. And of course, just about everybody smoked in those days. It was a rare moment you could grab a cigarette every now and then. But you got used to it, and after the first couple of weeks, well, you were in the system, and you knew what you were doing, and it wasn't bad after that. First, after basic training, I was held back in San Diego because what I had applied for required a security clearance, and they wouldn't let me leave San Diego until I had that clearance. So I spent 3 or 4 weeks there waiting on the clearance, and then went home on Christmas leave. And I came back and went on a destroyer for temporary duty before I got my technical training. And about 6 days after I got on that destroyer, we went to Far East, to Western Pacific. And in those days, when you're on temporary duty on a destroyer, you go on the deck force. That is where the lowest of the low go. And you were painting and scrubbing and everything nobody else wanted to do. That's what the USS Henry B. Wilson, DDG 7. It was a guided missile destroyer, and that I liked that, and that's where I was going, is the guided missile school when I got back off that temporary duty. Well, we had a chief on there, and I think the first time we went to sea, we just went out just to make sure the ship was ready to go to Westpac. And there was a chief in my division. He says, God, it's good to get back to sea. And I looked at it, by God, that guy's all right. And that's what I thought too. It's good to get to sea, not get back to sea. We had some of the fellows on the ship that as soon as they singled up all lines, they were seasick. And they would go on duty up on lookout, and they'd carry a pail with them. Well, the missile system we worked on required a secret clearance, because a lot of the equipment was classified. The missiles themselves were classified, how they worked was classified, and all the equipment. On the destroyer, it was a Tartar missile, which is the same as the Terrier, except it didn't have a booster phase. Well, when we started back from Westpac, they transferred several of us on their temporary duty to another destroyer, World War II destroyer. And of course, the one I was on was very modern. It was state of the art at the time. The World War II destroyer wasn't. So that was a whole nother eye-opener to come back on that. But then come back to San Diego and flew to Virginia and went to guided missile school. At basic missile training, there was a lot of electronics, of course. You got pneumatics. You got, I'm trying to say pneumatics, I said that already, yeah. And that was it, but then after you get through with the basic missile school, then you go to a specific missile school. So after that, I went to San Francisco to go to Tartar Terrier school.